Biafra, and of course we're interactive. Whatever is in your mind, anything, suggestions, opinions on how to restore where we came from, that will be a joy. Whatever you have is talk. One world is living nicely. The producers of this world that is living nicely came from a land called Biafra.
What I am telling our coordinators, if this very message touches you, please go very, very quietly to your coordinator anywhere outside the zoo to identify yourself. In each country, we need one person that can go to prison for up to 20 years for Biafra, if you believe in Biafra. Because these criminals, they will run outside, and when they come outside, we'll kill them. I don't know if you follow what we're saying. You see, we have not come to just fight for Biafra for the sake of fighting for freedom. There are some people that will need to be taught a lesson. In each of the, if it touches you, we don't want you to come out, not tonight. Think about it for about a week. If you can give us 10, 15, 20 years of your time for your country, if you cannot sacrifice your life in the battlefield, and you think you can do so, and you're living outside, approach your national coordinator. It shouldn't be announced publicly. We need such people, because these vagabonds, they will run to Europe. They will come to London. They will run to New York. They will run to Chicago. They will run to Los Angeles. We need people who are prepared to go to prison, so that anybody coming after them will know not to tamper with public funds or make life difficult for poor people anymore. That is why they must understand. If they know what we have in store for them, they will just say, give them Biafra, let them go. And I don't want them to give us Biafra like that. You must understand. As I have said before, we must fight for Biafra. I don't want Biafra negotiated by peace. I don't want peaceful actualization. Peaceful actualization of your liberation and freedom, as if that type of nonsense ever existed anywhere in history. Youth unemployment, Nigeria on gunpowder, according to senators and reps, ex-senators and reps. The same people responsible for the unemployment, they are the ones lamenting. There is something about the brain of a black person I don't quite understand. These are the people responsible for the mess, the ex-senators and reps. Those of them importing champagne from the south of France with their names on it. They go and they customize Lamborghini, they customize Ferrari with the money meant to go and invest in the future of their children. They just pack up their families and send them abroad, and every other person can die. Today they're complaining. Youth unemployment, that the zoo is sitting on a gunpowder. Most of you don't know. The zoo is finished. The only thing you can see is the veneer of tranquility or normalcy is fake. Scratch the surface of it, you will see pent-up animosity and anger. And we are going to ignite it this year. Those who leave can then continue. But this very year, the zoo will burn. This year. I don't care what they do in Yoruba land. The very land where I come from is Biafra land. I am telling them because I want them to move as many troops as possible into Biafra land. I want them to do everything humanly possible to secure it. That is how we want to fight. Because this time around we have come with something that we never had in 67 to 70. We have come, we have sense, you know that very well. After all, without money, I say without money because it's peanuts. We are on radio, we are on satellite, we are online broadcasting every blessed day. With nothing. Imagine what we can do if we have something. We sink, they will wake up one morning, if you'll be looking into the abyss. You will wake up one morning, some places will be missing. I don't believe in terrorism. That is for idiots who are cowards. I don't believe in terrorism. You tell your enemy you are coming, and then you come. You meet your enemy however they want it. You defeat them. And that's exactly what we are going to do. We are telling them, this year, they must either give us, not give us, they must either stay away from the land of Biafra, or they will die there. That is a promise. They will say, oh, remember the past, we will try and starve you. But you're talking rubbish. We can grow food with fluorescent light. For your information, we can use solar power, not we can. we will use ordinary solar power to grow food underground with fluorescent light. We will grow tomatoes from test tube. They must understand. So all of those things that were in place 67 to 70 that made the blockade to be very easy no longer obtains. Youth unemployment in the zoo. The zoo is sitting on a gunpowder, according to who? Ex-senators and reps. The same people responsible for looting the treasury, the same people incapable of stitching together any policies, the same people who don't love you. They claim they do. All you do is you vote for them into power, and they buy houses in London. Even Buhari has a flat in London. Everybody does. And where are you? You are doing security guard somewhere, or you are doing care work, and you say you're a Nigerian. Must be ashamed of yourself. Youth unemployment on the zoo is so high that they are sitting on a gunpowder, according to ex-senators and House of Reps members. The essence of criminality is embodied in any zoo politician. 9-year-old suicide bomber hits Potiskum, kills herself and 5 others. Did I say 7? I was saying 9. 7 years old. They groom them young, yet Obama stands up to tell the world Islam is a religion of peace. People talk so much garbage. Islam means war and destruction. That is why I respect the Bible, especially Old Testament. I do. With astonishing clarity and consistency, everything in the Old Testament always comes to pass. Always, without fail. Not subject to human interpretation. Always comes to pass. It was there we read through with the help of our brother yesterday that these people were designed to kill. That is their job. Ishmael was blessed. Yes, you'll be many, but you will be like a wild donkey of a man. Wild. These people are mad. Islam. They are insane. You cannot cure them. No amount of medication can cure them. This in the scriptures. We read it here on Radio Biafra. 7 years old. The father and the mother groomed the child to become a suicide bomber. That tells you all you need to know. Before they will use Israel as an excuse. Is there any Israeli settlement in Potiskum? You ask them why suicide bombing, they say it's Israel. Israel. This. Oh God. Oh, Britain. Britain, it can never ever be well with you. For the zoo you created. And I don't blame them that much. I blame us for not doing anything about it. We lost the war in 70. Everybody went into buying and selling. You started to cheat yourselves to the point that Owazurike came up with a scheme, a sham to defraud people. As somebody said yesterday, our dear brother said yesterday, I liken Owazurike to the coming of the white man. You brought the Bible, which is the word of God, hoping to use it to cheat us. But you don't know, all you did was to use like a car that is, the battery is down, trying to start it. You brought another battery to jumpstart it, to jumpstart the car. It cannot run on its own. Exactly what Owazurike brought Biafra to use it to cheat and to eat money, to become relevant. He didn't know that he was beginning to wake up certain things in certain people. As our brother, that is what I have been looking for a long time. He said, this is where it is. This is the reason why white people from Europe brought the word of God to Biafra land. God said they will bring it. He will send them to bring it. And they did. And that is why Chukwu Abiyama must be praised at all times. 7-year-old girl, 7-year-old suicide bomber. Astonishing. Astonishing. Unbelievable by every stretch of the imagination. Unbelievable. Invasion as calls flee logo communities. The zoo is crumbling every blessed day. Some of you don't know because CNN, somebody was commenting on Facebook on Radio Biafra London. She said, if you want to get the correct news, go and follow CNN. That was when somebody posted yesterday also on Radio Biafra London forum on Facebook, that there was a black American that said, I saved 1,000 But there were the other 1,000 he couldn't save because they didn't know they were slaves. He saved, I'm not sure I'm getting the quotation correct. This man is a black man. He was freeing black slaves in the southern part of the USA. He said he freed thousands of them, or was it 1,000 or thereabout? But he could have freed more, another 1,000. But these other ones, they didn't know they were slaves. Black people. They didn't know they were slaves. The same thing is happening. Somebody is telling you, if you want the truth, go to a white man's run company. Because you're black, you cannot do anything. Child, God in heaven. Why did you create some of us? Why bother? Why are you stressing yourself creating human beings that cannot reason like human beings? They are just beings, they are not human. There is a reason why the word human came into it. There is something special, because a cow is a being, is an entity. A goat is a being, is an entity. Human alters the equation. It means something special is there. But I'm afraid to say it is lacking in black African people. That is a statement of fact. If you come on air, I will prove it to you. Invasion, people are fleeing. If CNN is not talking about it, it's not true. Or it shouldn't be believed or taken seriously. So CNN, we're telling you that things are all over the place. Come in and send your reporters in. We'll welcome them. That is what our people said. If you want to believe anything. Oh, Ndisioji, black people, black. Very, very poor indeed. Mentally poor. Inability to reason properly. Refugee crisis as herdsmen kill villagers of Benue State. The same people that fought against Biafra and killed us. I'm even talking about Lower Benue, part of Biafra land themselves. They behave the same way as people from the so-called Niger Delta. Betrayal. They betrayed us to Awasa people. Today, Awasa people are killing them. I told anybody who moved, including Ken Sarawiwa, why is it that even Jonathan's village is not developed today? An Igbo man is your problem, yes? Then now Awasa man is your friend. Show me your development. Show it to me. Compare your life now with when you were under the governorship of Dr. Michael Obara in the old eastern region. Ask your fathers, when did Port Harcourt acquire the name Garden City? Was it not under an Igbo man, Dr. Michael Obara? Is that not correct? How can you name a place a garden city if it doesn't look like a garden? The Garden City then. Now Awasa man is in charge. What does it look like? More like a pigsty, more or less. Refugee crisis herdsmen killed those of them in Benue. They are killing them there. And may they continue. 2015 polls, 20 million will be disenfranchised. 20 million of you baboons in the zoo will not vote. 20 million monkeys will not vote in the zoo. And Ban Ki-moon is calling you to go and vote. Nobody is telling Ban Ki-moon that 20 million people cannot be able to vote because of the rampant corruption, incessant incompetence that you cannot even begin to quantify. Incompetence and corruption, stupidity mixed with ignorance. Very deadly combination. Very, very deadly. That is why the zoo can let them go to vote now. Vote and you all die off there. All of you shouting for vote, go and buy coffin for your mother and your father because you go there to bury them in there. PDP secretariat burnt down in Nasarawa. These are those calling for voting. Go and vote. You give us our franchise. But PDP secretariat in Nasarawa has been burnt down. Now imagine in a place where the secretariat has been burnt down, do you think anybody from PDP can win there? If they can burn down the secretariat, what would they do to you if you win? But of course, I do apologize, please. You are black people, and reasoning doesn't just come to you easily. It takes years. So maybe what I'm saying now, in 2017, it will become clearer. You cannot have this level of mayhem. this level of killings, this level of burning things down, and then you expect a peaceful outcome after the election. Who is going to concede to? Especially when Awasa wants power because Naira is falling. The economy is biting. They cannot do anything to survive apart from oil. So they need their hands on this oil. They need it. Awasa, oh my God in heaven, they need it. Awasa Fulani. Awasa is the front. Fulani is controlling them from the back. It's Fulani that is in charge, not Awasa. Awasa is a Fulufulu. If Fulani says go and commit haram, they go and commit haram. I think haram is sin. It means sin. Haram. Northern PDP leaders scared to tell Jonathan the truth. We'll find out this evening what those truths are. We continue. Ohaneze sold Igbo interest to endorse Jonathan according to Chekwas Okorie of UPP. He's a presidential candidate. Why is Chekwas Okorie poor? He is poor because he does not compromise. Chekwas Okorie is not flamboyantly rich because he has your interest at heart. Anybody who serves you dies a very poor person. I'm telling you. Igbo people, very, very difficult set of human beings. Sometimes they live difficulty and they go into monumental ignorance, thinking they are clever. That is, that is the worst part of it. Somebody who is daft and they think they are clever. That is very, very distressing. Honest and Igbo sold Igbo interest to endorse Jonathan. Of course, they sold it. Broken here on Radio Biafra a long time ago with their 5 billion. First broken on Radio Biafra. 5 billion. I think you say you have sense now. Ohaneze have shown you Igbo sense. Sell everybody and put the money in the pocket. Mad people. Popular Nigerian pastors followed by Igbo people were all born Muslims. All those people you follow, do you know they were Lakota before? They are Muslims now. You didn't quite believe me, did you? Today we have some proof for you. That is why anything you hear on Radio Biafra is correct. It may be paining you when I tell you anybody who went to church today or is about to go to church to kneel before a Yoruba pastor is lower than a pig. You are lower than a pig. You don't know anything. These people were Muslims before. Don't you know that? Muslims they are. I will have the proof. I will read it out for you so that you understand it very clearly and very well. That Radio Biafra is where you come to and the truth to be spoken. It doesn't matter if you're upset. Even if you're upset and then so what? The answer is yes, so you have to accept it. Of course, your tiny Biafran sense will kick in. They asked the so-called Niger Delta people, why are you betraying your own kind? They said it's because, if you cannot beat them, you follow them. And now Awasa man will come from the Sahel region, Sahel, near Mali, and come to Bobo and tell you that your own brother, that Chukwu Abiyama made two of you together, the same DNA, the same blood, everything, that person is your problem. Somebody coming from Mali, all the way from Mali, from Timbuktu, you come to Bobo, from Timbuktu, and you now tell me that your next door brother and neighbor for 5,000 years is now your enemy, and you accepted. No wonder they call them Niger Delta. This is Radio Biafra. 50 more people are now dead as Boko Haram storms Adamawa. Anytime they tell you, we are retaking Baga from Boko Haram, I told you, watch out, next 2 days, you will see that Boko Haram has done something spectacular. They have stormed Adamawa. 50 people dead. Hagane Bunaga is Islam, is in the Bible. Edom. Not in fact Ishmaelites. They will keep killing Islam. They will be killing. They are like wild donkeys. So why they are wild, you cannot tame them. No amount of democracy, no amount of oil money. If you like, relocate every Awasa person to Biafra land where the oil is. They will remain wild. They are, after all, Saudi Arabia has oil. That's where Osama bin Laden comes from. Very wild, despite all the money that the bin Laden family made from construction and from oil. Very, very wild beasts. Wild. The condemnation is contained in the Holy Books. It's in the Bible that they will be wild. Wild animals. That is who they are. You cannot tame them. Even if you go to Malaysia, that appears, it has this veneer of normality. Give them some more years, you see some radicals, they'll spring up and say the Islam you're presenting is not Islamic enough. They want more extreme version of it. Mad people. Britain put us in the same. See, the British think they are very clever. By mixing all of you up, their eye is on Biafra, not Hausa. Their main interest is Biafra. So the best thing for us to do is to use this to cover this. Like Winston Churchill having advanced knowledge that the Japanese were about to bomb Pearl Harbor, but he kept quiet because he wanted America to join the war. America was neutral. Churchill knew that if America remained neutral, that Hitler would overrun this very place. He begged America to join. America said, we'll support you. He begged America to join. America said no. He had advanced knowledge that the Japanese Pacific Fleet were about to attack Pearl Harbor. He kept quiet. He kept the information from the Americans until Pearl Harbor was attacked and America joined the war. Typical British. That's how their brain is. Very tiny people. But almost everywhere in the world they speak English. Satan is working. 50 people are dead. They handed you over to Islam. Boko Haram paid us $3,000 to fight for them, according to a guy. $3,000. We can't even raise $3,000 from the whole of Europe in a month to support what we are doing. And they want us to, from that $3,000 that they give us from Europe, we'll buy weapons, we'll feed our soldiers, we'll train them, we'll equip them, we'll run Radio Biafra, we'll run IPOB all over the world. That is what one person in Boko Haram gets. One single person for fighting. We are asking our men to volunteer. Of course, we're not going to pay them. They volunteer. They have nothing. The least we can do is to feed them properly. That is the least you can do. And to give them the equipment to go and fight. I'm just telling you so that you know. So those of you saying, so that is why that Boko Haram fighter, you then go to, oh, this money we're giving you, what are you doing with it? But you saw him with AK-47. He's going to fight. I'm just giving you an insight into what is called Igbo sense. It doesn't, on first sight, you think it is making sense. But if you investigate it further, you see it is stupidity. But when you went to a radio station to go and find out how much it costs to broadcast for 1 hour, how much did they tell you? Shame couldn't allow them to come back and say, oh, we are very, very sorry to have questioned you in the first place. Now we know that it costs money to broadcast. No, they never knew before. Now they know. But when they were saying it, if you read what they are saying, you would think they're intelligent people. You know, they're very smart. They're asking questions. Oh, why don't you ask questions? All of you ask it. After asking the question, they came back and answered the question without understanding that the answer they now have is that deals with the first pathetic and wretched question they were asking in the first place. Boko Haram gives their own people $3,000 and that is your money through Buhari. That is you're seeking to vote for through Okorocha. That is why I hate buying and selling. All the calculations you make when you're into buying and selling, trading, is now immediate. Next week Friday. You never calculate. You can have this gain next week Friday and your business will collapse next month. No, you can't think that far. It's here now immediately. That is why some people say Okorocha built 2 roundabouts for us. Yes, he built 2 roundabouts for you. But that roundabout will cost you your life. You watch and see. We continue. We are also reporting this evening, and for those of you joining us for the very first time and wondering what in the name of Chukwu Abiyama is going on here, this is Radio Biafra. We don't retreat and we do not surrender. We have uncovered, not us, I must say, we are reporting a media outlet that uncovered. This is what I love. If you accuse somebody of something, bring out evidence. I don't believe in all this hearsay nonsense. But this evening, we can report to the whole world that Chibuike Amechi, supposedly an Igbo man who is now from Niger Delta, Chibuike Amechi is his name. This man is using the money belonging to Biafran people in River State to fund APC. Hausa Fulani Islamic Boko Haram Party. It is here. There was something again that Chukwuka posted. I had been looking for it and I want him to send it back to me immediately. Where they listed out, you said Buhari is not corrupt. Yet, he has billions in his account. You say Buhari will do so. I want it. They posted it today. I love this so much, and I want it to have it back. He can forward it to me. You said you will fight fraud, but yet you don't have certificate and you want to contest. Things like that. I want to. Hypocrisy. This evening we have evidence that Chibike Amechi is corrupt. If you are listening anywhere in River State, Chibike Amechi is using your money to go and fund APC Boko Haram party. The proof is here. Proof, and I'm not saying somebody said recycled. I said thing that saved him. They shot the car to pieces. It's telling us the election was free and fair because of the meeting they had. Oh, let us drown out Radio Biafra. It's exposing Nigeria. It's not good now. Can't you see how they're exposing Nigeria? It's not good. Because you're monkeys and baboons. You need exposure in a cage. Youth coppers are dead. Why did they die? Because of the zoological republic of Nigeria. Now you understand that. Now you understand why Radio Biafra has to do what it's doing. To even save you from yourselves, because some of you, your brains no longer work properly. They are dead. And polling stations ransacked, according to the INEC resident commissioner. So why is it that EU observers cannot see all of this? African Union, ECOWAS observers. The man is telling you that polling stations were ransacked. 4 people shot dead, youth coppers shot dead, working for INEC. Yet you can't see it. I'm telling you what is being reported by other people, not us. The ones we are telling you now is about the results they have collected here. The 9% that went out to vote with other people amongst them voted for Jonathan, yes. Southeast, Jonathan won, yes. Every other place, they said Jonathan failed. And as I told Jonathan, Yoruba will fail you. As I told Jonathan also, the Ifajuna of our time, Owazirike, will fail you. And they both failed. They didn't deliver. Go and get your money back from him. Even to find Radio Biafra, they couldn't find it. If you gave Owazirike money to destroy Radio Biafra, go and take your money back. He's no longer working. He's now giving us free advert. Now everybody knows who I am. And I love that. And more are listening to Radio Biafra as a result of it. And when they listen, they say, oh my God, I never knew what I was missing before. Every publicity is good publicity. I tell you that. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. We continue. A woman have now stabbed her husband to death over PDP APC presidential candidates. In Lagos State, they have now arrested a 26-year-old woman. She's even pregnant, possibly a graduate of a Nigerian university, Zoo University. 26-year-old pregnant woman who allegedly stabbed her husband to death during a quarrel over who would emerge winner between the PDP and APC presidential candidates while voting was ongoing at the weekend at the Ejigbo area of Lagos. The incident, which threw the densely populated area into disarray, occurred at about 12 noon inside the couple's one-room apartment. They are living in one room. The person or the people that are squabbling for, they are living in palatial mansions. Not one. You know these people, these politicians you're voting for. They have one in New York, one in Los Angeles. When I went to Los Angeles, I saw some of them, their houses. They have in New York, in Los Angeles. They have no, they won't allow them. They are black people. They won't allow them to go to Long Island. They won't let them come in there. Or Martha's Vineyard, they won't let them come because they're black people. They don't allow black people to go there. Martha's Vineyard is for the richest of the rich in America. That's why they own their houses. If you're a black person, no matter how much money you've stolen, they won't allow you to come close. Very, very important. They have houses in Florida. In London, they have houses in Dubai, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. You are in one bedroom looking for kerosene to cook food for your husband, looking for candle at night, being chased about by mosquitoes. You are fleeting the room. You are putting on mosquito coil. You are dying, and you're quarreling and squabbling over somebody with 11 private jets. It's either you're a monkey or you're a baboon. Choose one. The person that you have killed your husband because of, they have 11 aircrafts. 11. Oh God, black people. Do you see why I call them useless and foolish? Black, this UG. Some of you don't like it. Please, if you have a rope nearby, Hold on. Because if you're foolish, I will tell you, I've done for Biafra. Did you not hear me say that? Did you not hear me liken their heroism to that of our mothers? When I praise them, you didn't hear it. It's when I castigate that you hear. The same way we are praising Abba today for being at the forefront, at the vanguard of the boycott of the elections. Abba, there was no voting. Forget about all the rigging that they are doing. As at yesterday, at all the primary schools, bring ballot box, let's be voting for somebody. The same thumbprint of the same person everywhere. Abba, we commend you. You have lived up to your name, Enyimba. Of course. Abba led the boycott of the elections. Go to Abba and ask how many people voted, and they will tell you. The nation, the zoo, Nigeria is not a nation. So, I would say the contraption was in suspense yesterday as a result from Saturday's presidential election and National Assembly elections continue to trickle in. At press time, only Ekiti and Osun State had fully declared results of the elections. President Goodluck Jonathan, the presidential candidate of the PDP, won all 16 local government areas of Ekiti, but lost in Osun. Ekiti voted for Jonathan, but he lost in Osun. In the National Assembly results declared, the president of the Senate, Senator David Mark, was in pole position to become the only senator to have survived since 1999, having won all the five of the 7 local government areas in his Benue South senatorial district. David Mark, the leader of abandoned. If people are thinking of who caused the tension between South and Southeast Niger Delta and their Igbo cousins, is because of David Mark. David Mark, of course. Nnamdi Kanu gave that impetus. It was Nnamdi Kanu's sack of Eyoita, Dr. Eyoita, that led to Awolowo telling them that Igbo people are domineering. Eyoita was the head of government business at Enugu. Nnamdi Kanu was kicked out of Yoruba land. They betrayed him and he ran back and kicked out Eyoita. And Awolowo went to them and said, Igbo people cannot be trusted. They are domineering. They want to dominate. And that was the end of it. But contrasting the Awasa people allowed Gowon to remain as the head of state. They could have used an Awasa man. They said, no, it's not good. Let's use a minority, a Christian minority. But they would do what we tell them to do. That was exactly what Gowon did. Gowon emerged as a mass murderer at the end of it and entrenched. Gowon so much frightened the Igbo people that Igbo people will remain forever slaves to Awasa Fulani unless we do something about it, which is exactly what we are doing now. Tension as a result trickle in. They are calling, this is what they are writing, although INEC is saying don't mention any results. Babangida Aliyu lost his Senate bid. He lost in all wards of Niger East local government. Niger East Senatorial District to David Omaru of the APC. APC are sweeping the north. If Babangida Aliyu cannot even go to the Senate, then PDP is finished. Here you have little youths jumping and running. How? DCOG, political thuggery. That is why Masop cannot do freedom fighting, but they can do thuggery very well. A thug. Because you know, to do freedom fighting requires brain. You think, you strategize, and you execute. But to be a thug, to be a thug is easy. Pick up the nearest stick and you're jumping up and down. But to be a freedom fighter requires you to use your brain, stealth, to capture one area after another. But to be a thug, that is why that for Wazirike and the idiots is leading. That is why life is like that for them. Thugs. Some of them are upset that they have lost people in this struggle. And other people are coming to try and get Biafra. Why not? Because you're a thug. That's why you died, because you're a thug. You don't know how to invest life very well. If you want to die, you die for something honorable. If we go to blow up Asorok and then you die, then you have died for your country. Not that we are mounting a flag. Such nonsense, rubbish. Is that freedom fighting? Unako flag for 15 years. After 15 years, you are now voting for People's Democratic Party of Nigeria. After putting up flag for 15 years. That means you have no shame. We continue. PDP chieftain in Nnamdi State, Chief Chris, but the people that he lost 3 men yesterday, not his own men, Igbo youths, yesterday at Ihiala, as read last night. He has now urged INEC not to declare any candidate of the party the assembly election. The reason he added was the reason he adduced for this, all this type of stupid grammar they write here. The reason he adduced for this was the fact that we are still pending cases involving all PDP candidates in Anambra State at the Supreme and Federal High Courts. I have told you, the judges are waiting. Did I not tell you before? The judges are waiting for court cases so they can abroad to go and study. According to OPA, INEC will be erring in law if any PDP candidate was declared winner without the determination of the pending cases. It's been recorded that Oba's faction of PDP had gone to the Supreme Court praying for an injunction to restrain INEC from issuing certificates of return to any candidate of PDP for the 2015 National Assembly election in Anambra State, pending the determination of the suit fixed for hearing on June 9. So you have to wait till June the 9th to declare a winner. Welcome to the Zoological Republic. He did not mention that his bulletproof car was anything that saved him. They shot the car to pieces. And Oba did not mention that 3 of his men died yesterday. Did he? The families of those men, I don't feel sorry for you. I told you. He didn't even mention you to say, oh, I lament over the death of the 3 people with me yesterday that were shot dead. Did he do that? Oh, no, N-O. And here you are, jumping up and down, talking about election. Very, very sad indeed. This is Radio Biafra. We are live. We are direct. The time here now is 7 minutes past 8 a.m. in the morning. 7 past 8 in the morning, we are bringing you news, views, commentaries, and analysis regarding how we are all going to get Biafra. Biafra we each of one. It is for everybody. Every human being. If you're a genuine, hardcore, born Biafran, you must be part of what we are doing. If you are fathered by our Fulani, then follow Ifajana. Keep on doing your Aburu work. And then maybe after another 15 years, some of you become Al-Haji and Hajia. Because after 15 years of mounting flag, you are only voting for PDP. After another 15 years of mounting a flag, you start to go to Mecca. We continue. We continue. Look at the organization some of you allowed your children to join. Some of you allowed your children to go and be following somebody who is worse than Ifajana. Worse than Ifajana. Have you ever seen a freedom fighter before campaigning for a political party? Where in the world? Please show me. Freedom fighter. Do you know what is a freedom fighter at home? No, we're about to show you what it means. Because you don't. We'll continue. I know there are no jobs anywhere. We can go and clean up Aba. So you people don't know that if we succeed in cleaning up Aba, the international community to give you, they will give you. If we finish with Aba, we can develop our land without the zoo called Nigeria. We can still develop our land. Don't you know that? Are we crippled that we cannot do anything? Even Williams, Frank Williams, the head of Williams Motor Racing, he's a quadriplegic in a wheelchair. But he's running, he is running one of the most successful teams in Formula 1. He doesn't move. He sits, he can make things happen. Have you not seen Professor Stephen Hawking, the Oxford physicist, a scientist? Is he not in a wheelchair? Down with, what syndrome is he suffering from? He's coming out with things that will boggle your mind in science. We can you do that if you go to international foundations and ask them, please give us money to go to Izombe and clean, they will give you. And you do something with it. People don't, it's only if you're willing to understand the reason and to cooperate. That's all. After 15 years of flying a flag on high tension, instead of getting your freedom, what are you doing today? You are voting for PDP. Welcome to Igbo man and freedom fighting. Let's continue. There was mild tension in parts of Imo State on Sunday as armed security personnel, including men of the journalists from collation centers in the center in Owerri Municipal Council Secretariat, security operatives who could not give reasons who were at the center to get, we are told to return home and wait until the elections were announced. Who's going to announce it? Then from the journalists to report it to the people. Without journalists, will you be able to? So how do you intend to announce it without telling journalists to carry it? Welcome to the zoo. They are still looking with their guns, with a municipal. But when Boko Haram come, you're running. You have to run to Chad and Tunisia to come and help you fight. When it comes to ordinary journalists who came to find out you are, Nigerian army. Hey, this UG. No. Sorry. We continue. Gunmen storm INEC collection center in Apapa. Everywhere things are happening and they're telling you the election was free and fair. 4 gunmen on Sunday night stormed the Independent National Electoral Commission collection center at United Christian Primary School, Apapa in Lagos State. An eyewitness revealed that they came to the center around 9 p.m. Before the armed men could carry out any attack, soldiers stationed around the center quickly stepped in to face them. We don't know their exact mission. Maybe they have come to kill or just to cause confusion. For whatever reason, they have come with arms and ammunition. We are grateful that the soldiers sighted them in time and neutralized the attempt, the witness said. He, however, said that 2 of the armed men escaped. 25 rounds of ammunition were found on them. The result announcement scheduled for Sunday by INEC have now been postponed. So how did Buhari win over there as well? Welcome to the zoo. Lies and subterfuge. Aided and abetted by the British. The British that taught you how to lie. Before the British came, Biafrans never lied. Hannah was. Because before you were made an Ozo in those days, you bring out your tongue, they will make 7 incisions on your tongue with a razor blade. Do you know why they do that? Any day you tell a lie, you will die. Ask anybody. That is why they said, if you keep speaking the truth, you'll be alive. Any day you lie, you will die. If before you are made an Ozo, your tongue will come. They use this razor blade and mark it 7 times. It will bleed 7 times to always speak the truth. Any day you lie, you will die. Hence, is Yokubondo. I told you that we are learned. That's what they will tell you one day. The Federal High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Adeni Yademo, they have even started, had last Wednesday adjourned further hearing on the suit seeking to disqualify the presidential candidate of the APC, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to April 22 and 23, paving the way for him to contest in the polls. Isn't that laughable? Buhari is not even qualified to run, but welcome to the zoo. People don't understand the implications of allowing somebody to run for a presidential office without, but I respect Buhari's tenacity, if not for one thing. He's been running since 2007, is that correct? Till date. The man is resilient. At least I give him credit for that. He knows what he's looking for, which is to bring Sharia to all of you, and he was going to do it. I respect his tenacity and his doggedness, his determination. I respect that. That is what you expect in people, to be tenacious and dogged. This man wants to bring you Sharia and Islam to the extent that he's prepared to keep running for presidency. He owes Allah. He wants Allah to be happy with him. He wants Allah to be so praised by Quran carrying Boko Haramista apologies. He's still running. He is not qualified to run, but he ran. That tells you the type of zoo you're in. Not a country, because it's a contraption. Even according to Awolowo said it is a contraption. The Zoological Republic. We continue. The time now is 8:15 in the morning here in Biafra land. Wherever you are, we welcome you. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct, please, and our lines will soon open. Our group voters late on Sunday night set ablaze the Independent National Electoral Commission in Logo area of Benue State. It's been gathered from a reliable source that the group locals in the area, which is the home of Governor Gabriel Soswam, raised the office at about 8 p.m. in protest of last Saturday's general election results purportedly released by the office. According to him, the action may not be unconnected with the said result that INEC released in the area, which actually did not go down well with the people who are claiming that the result was forged. Imagine what will happen if Jonathan is declared the winner. Every Igbo person will go down. They will so much slaughter you because they did the same thing in 1966. You foolishly went back there. They killed you again, you ran back, and then we declared Biafra in 67. because of the killing of our people. You've gone back there. If Atahiru Jega is, let him declare, let anybody mention Jonathan president of, you will see what will happen. There will be blood anyway. Why come after, even you're dying now, talk less of when the results will be out. Boko Haram will then come out of, is it Bama or is it Sambisa forest and start the proper beheading. You will know that indeed they are aligned with ISIS. Very, very critical, very, very important. We continue. The state governor from the zoo dresses up to escape 1.8 million pound charges in the UK. That's an old news, isn't it? It's very, very old. It's Alamasi Yega, whatever. Okay, they said Dupre Alamasi Yega returned to his home village, a folk hero, after apparently escaping Europe in a dress and on a forged passport. Crowds cheered and waved. Yisuchoshi, you'll be welcome back. That is our people. Black and this. Now you see why I call you baboons and monkeys. Ega Abuja is Hosbotoshi, Boroporo, village, and you'll be hailed. The conqueror, the lion of the village. A thief, Olushi. You, I don't know. I don't know why people cannot be honorable. I don't know why we cannot be honorable. I don't know what is wrong with us. I have no idea what could conceivably be. Why are we always predisposed to allowing evil to reign? Evil. As Goran Haydn told me once when I was studying economics, he said it is called economy of affection. He was the same person that coined the word or the phrase rentier economy to describe the zoo, where you depend on only one natural resource to be able to fund everything else. You only sell one product, in this case crude oil, to fund everything from toothpick to rice and to indomie. You import everything else. He called it economy of affection. When your village gathers round to donate money for you to go to school in those days, when you come back, you're expected to feed your whole village. But one thing the village doesn't know is that your salary cannot support everybody. But because you need to meet up with expectations, you dabble into stealing in the office to satisfy your village. So if you come back, they'll give you a title of Ochuros or one. When your duty is to make sure that the infrastructure exists to allow everybody and then to have access to employment, decent water, good roads. That is your job. Not to go and steal money and distribute in the village, because that money will never be enough. Do you understand? That is what white people do. Oyibo. Do you know what they do? They make life easy for everybody. So if you go for employment, you can find a job. It's not for you to go to David Cameron. Oh, he's our man. Oh, he's our man. He's our man. Oh, he's our man. So that he can give you money. That's rubbish. He will tell you to go to the nearest job center and go and look for a work. You got your own again. It is his duty as the Prime Minister to make sure that the enabling environment is there for jobs to be created to absorb you, so you can start to contribute to the economy. Maybe that is too complex for the brain of black people to comprehend, is it? Is that too much? Do you know that we can build a railway line? Do you know that we can build a railway line from Obolafo all the way to Obobo? Do you know we can build a railway line all the way from Ebanke to Calabar? Do you know we'll crisscross the whole of Biafra land with rail, with canal? Do you know, people are talking about road, our road is bad. We don't need road. I said train. So that you can, do you know you can leave your place in Obolafo? You go to work in Port Harcourt. After work, you go back to Obolafo. Are you aware of that? Oh my. You can live in Soka to travel all the way to Nembe to go and work. After work, you still enter the train and go back to Soka and sleep the same day. Are you aware of that? You people should cooperate. Come together, let us get Biafra and show black people what a country looks like. Because right now, black people in the whole world, they have no country. The whole world in the world. If they come here to seek asylum, we open the door for them. They can come in. We show humanity that we are not all monkeys. Now, right now, we are monkeys and baboons, but we're not by center on top of the ceiling. by doing something tangible. One, we get our to this country. We build this nation, Biafra. All hands will for morning, noon, and night. What our fathers did. The same way every day in America is our founding father. In Britain is our king and our queens. They remember that this very generation make this sacrifice that our children can love my parents. Look at what they did. If I want to understand this, was it hotel, no mansion? No, it's not that. There is something far more greater when you're fighting for the freedom of your people. Something infinitely greater. It is the immortality that comes with it. Because there is no child born in America that will not know about George Washington. As you enter Muslim day one, and Adams and Young, they will remind you who wrote the Constitution, who did this, who did that. From nursery, from kindergarten. The same thing will happen to you. They will remember you forever and ever because you called down the kingdom of heaven down to this very earth. The same thing happens in Israel. Ben Gurion will be remembered, Golda Meir will be remembered, Ariel Sharon will be remembered, everybody who fought gallantly. Ehud Barak will be remembered, the most decorated Israeli soldier. They remember them forever and ever because of what they did for the people. That is how you want to be known. Not how many hotels you built for your children, not how many mansions you have, not how many helicopters you have. What did you accomplish for your people? Don't you remember Mbakwe? Mbakwe is the only one we remember, and Dr. Michael Obara. Those two. Dr. Michael Obara and Sam Mbakwe are the only two people that served you diligently and gave you employment. Isn't it funny that we only remember Michael Obara and Mbakwe? We know Akanu Ibiam did, but Akanu Ibiam was not in a position to create employment. Akanu Ibiam is also a very beautiful son of Biafra, without a doubt. So also is Mazin Bono Ojike, we know that for sure. And of course, His Excellency. But the two standout individuals are Dr. Michael Obara, that ran an economy that was growing at the rate of 40% a year. Do you know who built Presidential Hotel Port Harcourt? Dr. Michael Obara, in case you don't know. Oil mill that you're seeing today. He was the man that foresaw that palm oil was bigger than even crude oil. Oil mill. All the cement factory. Everything you see as an industry. Who built it? Dr. Michael Obara built all the way from Enugu to Port Harcourt. To Calabar, everywhere he built. How about Mbakwe in Imo State? Can anybody forget Mbakwe in Imo State? The answer is no, we cannot forget him. Mbakwe can never be forgotten. Mbakwe did not want naira, but you can see the lives he touched. Mbakwe's poster was not everywhere. Mbakwe is working. Mbakwe is the man. No, there was no poster. Any poster from Mbakwe, the answer is no. But you can tell that this man was working for his people. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved Mbakwe. Why? You can see the industries that he opened. People go to work and they get paid under Mbakwe. How can we forget such people? That is he a millionaire? A billionaire? The answer is no. That is how you will be remembered forever and ever. That is your job as a mortal, is to create a legacy and immortality by the work that you do. Owasulike, the Ifajin of our time is not by kidnapping. It's not by being a tout or a political thug. By intimidation. Our people were not born. You reason with them. People said, oh, why don't we force people not to vote? Why don't you scatter? I said, no. Biafran people will hate you if you do that. They have something that is stronger than going to destroy everything to make them not to vote. Appeal to their common sense and their reasoning. These people will listen. And indeed you listened. And that is why you are special. And that is why this day we shall honor you, especially those in Aba, those in Owerri, those that didn't come out to vote. All of you, we honor all of you. We continue this very morning to present our news headlines and accompanying news summary. But in the interim, I'm not taking a break. What we're going to do is to open our lines to take as many calls from you as possible. We are live and we are direct, and this is Radio Biafra on the morning of the 30th of March 2015, with the time now standing at approximately 8:27 a.m. in the morning here in Biafra land, the same time in London and the same number of minutes past the top of the hour, irrespective of where you are domiciled, where you are working, your place of abode, or where you are presently in detention, because many of us are in detention and we need to bring them out. I am telling you now, there are our sons, not daughters, because the only girl that they imprisoned in China, she was raped to death by Chinese prison guards. She died there. Ask people, they will tell you. You don't know what is happening abroad, do you? We need to bring back our children from the prisons around the world. That is also our responsibility. That is our responsibility. We need to bring them back from all around this very planet. Very, very critical. Very, very important. Let's go to the phone line and see who is there. The caller on this very phone, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. Can you hear me? Can you raise your voice? Your voice is very low. Your voice is way too low.
Good morning. Am I talking to director?
Yes, you are. Your name and where you are, please.
Yes, this is the best day of my life for getting you online. Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead. Raise your voice. Your voice is too low. Move away from your radio and talk to us. Raise your voice. You're speaking to me like a woman. Speak like a man, please.
Yeah, director.
That's better.
I'm the man that sent this thing from this WhatsApp telling you about your mission. I say the mission of our father, Ojukwu, is the mission of Moses, who brought the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Yoruba will just lie down and say, oh, buddy. If you just say, for this, you must tread very carefully. I don't think you will. And you will not. At the end of it, I will tell you, did I tell you so or not? Maybe from then, you believe us and not Jonathan. This is Radio Biafra. Jonathan said they will survive the election. I do not believe so. The zoo is going the way of Somalia. Jonathan is like Mohammed Siad Barre, which I will explain later.
And since then,
is happening outside it. The body is outside, but it feels that by choosing not to see what is happening, that it is safe, but it is not. Jonathan have chosen not to observe what is happening around him. He is claiming that the zoo will survive 2015 elections. The only way it will survive is if he decides to abdicate, to run away. Because I must warn Jonathan and PDP. You will lose because the masters of rigging, the British, they know Buhari is not qualified to run. They understand that very well. So the more useless an Awasa person is, the more acceptable to the British that person will be. If you're a hopeless Awasa person, to the British, you're useful. Because you will be used to do a destructive job for the white people of Europe. Your job is to go and destroy. And that is what Buhari is coming to do. Some of you will be there. They have planned all the things they're going to do. Once there is Cameron or whoever is there will congratulate Buhari. That is all they need. And Obama will congratulate him in office. And Jonathan is finished. Military messages. And Jonathan is out. Therefore, he must tread very carefully. He's telling you that he will survive the election. I don't think he will. And you will not. At the end of it, maybe from then, you believe us and not Jonathan. This is Radio Biafra. Jonathan said they will survive the election. I do not believe so. The zoo is going the way of Somalia. Jonathan is like Mohammed Siad Barre, which I will explain later. He saw all the handwriting on the wall that the rebels were taking a stronghold, that the edifice called Somalia was crumbling. He decided to remain in office, and today their civilization has been set back 2,000 years. There they are like vultures eating each other. Each family has a Kalashnikov assault rifle to kill the next person they can see. The place is like one hell of a Mad Max. There is no movie that can accurately depict life in Somalia right now. In southern Somalia at least. There is no movie that can depict it. What is happening there? It is like people living in the Stone Age, but only now with AK-47. Immigration recruitment victims threaten to drag the zoo to court because the zoo called Nigeria is one very serious fraudulent enclave. they even steal from their citizens they have not provided for. If the zoo was going to steal from ordinary people, you can at least understand it if they had paid their fees or taken them to school or given them employment or helped their parents. The answer is no. But after parents must have finished suffering, Nigerian government will stay and defraud you. There were no jobs. They just said, go and buy forms, 1,000 each. They printed nearly 2 million forms and they made money. People came there, stampeded themselves to death, and they said, we'll hold an investigation, this will not happen again, and that is the end of it. Now they are threatening to drag the zoo to the International Court in The Hague. I don't know what merit that has, which I may be able to clarify us, or even Barrister himself, because which has been doing some research on this International Court business to tell us if they can do so or not. We are reporting again today, as we do every day, that Boko Haram have now killed another 24 in Hong, according to the police, and also their helicopters were dropping leaflets. Sam recognizes that you cannot vote in the zoo. They're asking them, don't come out to vote. The same way today, we are asking people, do not come out to vote. We don't have anything in common with Boko Haram, please. But they understand that the zoo is finished. The ordinary people inside the zoo is saying that this zoo is finished. We want to break out of our cages and be free. Britain, give us the key so we can unlock the cages that you have held us in for very many years, because we want to be free. That's what people are saying. That is why there will not be any election. Anybody canvassing for election, of course, is Africa. What do you expect? Politics of the stomach. People are very, very hungry. What can they do? We must continue. This is Radio Biafra. We will catch Shekau before elections, according to Jonathan. Jonathan is saying that we'll catch him before elections. I don't know where he got that from, but they have killed him before. Again, Jonathan is on a campaign trail saying that they will catch him before the elections. So that begs the, Buhari is coming out to win, so Buhari can offer Shekau in order to get the presidency, and then convert all of you to Islam. Who knows? Who knows? 80% of the zoo's stolen crude oil is exported abroad, according to Governor Udragan. People are listening to Radio Biafra. We told you they do. Anything we preach here, eventually they talk about it. They have to. You don't have any choice, because it is the truth. This is why Britain and some corrupt people in America want the zoo to continue as a country. That is what Governor Udragan is saying here. Stolen crude, they don't pay for it. I remember running this very report about 2 years ago, that people take oil from the zoo, they don't pay. They take oil from Biafra land, they don't pay. Yeah, no, it's not true, it's not true. After about 2 or 4 months, I think Alison Madeke, the Zianim Alison Madeke, was forced to come and deny the fact. In fact, they even said they would tighten, they will bring in new meters so that people can pay. Now that isn't working either. The Dragon have now spoken, confirming what I've always known. Eventually, they talk about what we have preached on Radio Biafra. Very, very important. They may deny it in the open, that is their business, but in the end, everybody comes here to learn. You must learn, even if you don't like us. And according to the brother who rang me today from Indonesia, saying that he has a complaint to make, because here we welcome free speech. As long as you recognize that this is a family show, there are children listening, you don't use swear words. You don't say things that are out of context. You have the right to say whatever you want to say. He said to us, the way you people castigate Ohaneze and insult our elders, I said, what greater insult is it that somebody came to your village, your way of life changed. You started following them about, you changed your name from Ifeanyi Chukwu to Clement. What greater insult is that? People don't know what insult is. Today, I lectured him on what it is. You're answering Smith. You're answering, what else is that to answer Donovan. Before, your name was Onkwachuku. Now you are Donovan. You don't know it's an insult to you? The greatest by taking away who you are. You don't see that as an insult. It's people telling you the truth as to who you are. What is wrong with that, to tell you? The Jewish could not say it. These are criminals. You have the temerity to come and, of course, you have the right to do so. To say about us, please try and do so. Another Biafra group is now calling on Ndibo to boycott elections. This time around, peace of them. Everybody understands that very fact. There will be no election. None whatsoever. What for? What are you doing election for? Another 4 years of looting, another 4 years of kidnapping, are not giving birth and selling their babies. Another 4 years of poverty. Another 4 years, rather, of very poor people killing themselves. Another want, or do you want freedom? We must continue this Radio Biafra, whatever you are. If you're joining us for the very first time, we welcome you. Conspiracies against President Jonathan, I will even add to them, if I was there. Jonathan is a very foolish president. Very lousy indeed. The worst I have ever seen occupying such an office. It's a retard. Paying for him and to vote for him. But Jonathan has nothing to offer, because nothing to offer whatsoever. Ever comparison and disgrace to the office of the chief executive of any country. An abundant disgrace he is, Jonathan. 14 babies abducted in Benue in 3 months to India to go and receive their organs. Amazing. Black people at their finest. Kidnap babies, kill them, send the organs to... It's like crude oil. You export crude oil, but then you import petrol, you import kerosene, you import diesel. The same way you can take a baby and harvest the organs and sell to Indians. Then you send your own babies to go there for 1 kidney, maybe 1 pancreas, 1 lung, 1 heart. It depends on what you want. You know, you pick what you're looking for. But the organs that they are transplanting comes from you near your village as well. Now you understand why we castigate black people the way we do. There is something wrong with us, heaven knows. The MA is speaking to the displaced, the refugees of Mubi, asking them to return home. MA to refugees. Return home. We don't know how true that is. Pressure on the zoo currency, Naira, as market loses $800 million that could have gone into free education. They have squandered. That is why they say, oh, your market, I told you, gambling. They have lost $800 million in the zoo. But will it matter? The answer is no. Does it affect you? The answer is no. It doesn't. But the time you will know is when you go back and they say, that 200 Naira can no longer buy you pure water anymore. Then you will understand that something has gone seriously wrong. As those in Russia were complaining, you will not just need wheelbarrow to carry Naira, you will need gongoro to carry it, because the currency will be so worthless. Fayose to Buhari, swear by the Holy Quran that you did not visit a hospital in London. Everybody lies in the zoo called Nigeria. Everybody is a liar, so it doesn't really matter what they say. They are always lying. After all, have you not heard Oluko Lade before, the Yoruba man? Lie. A group wants security agencies to probe fake Igbo leaders in Lagos. And they were classic. They produce fake drugs, so why wouldn't they have fake leaders? They do fake drugs now. They open capsule and they pour powder inside it and sell to people to drink and die. Take the medication and you die off. And then you say your grandmother is holding you. Your sister-in-law is the one against you. You know, people are mad. It's the fake drugs you bought at Opiwek that is killing you, not your next door neighbor. They have fake leaders. It's Igbo people now. Whatever is good for the geese is good for the only people to democratize the institution of monarchy. People go to vote for who will be the Eze, the Igwe of the village. Whereas the monarchy is its hereditary concept. You don't vote for it. That is why it's a monarchy. The answer, His Royal Highness, His Royal Majesty, His Royal Igwe. But they were voted for. You know, we have a unique way of doing things, I'm telling you, Igbo people. We turn things upside down. Fake Igbo leaders in Lagos. Will money come out of it? Yes. Let us. After all, there are fake IPOBs all over. Every idiot wants to answer IPOB. Fake all over the place. It's in their nature, and I can't see it. Fake Igbo leaders in Lagos. Nothing at all, at all, at all. You are very bad, and we will tell you. It won't stop us from working for you. It won't stop us from trying to save you. But if you're evil, we tell you you're evil so that you can change and repent from your dastardly ways. Will inherit huge debt profile and empty treasury, according to Buhari. Will inherit. Buhari, after meeting Tony Blair, they have told him you're going to win no matter what happens. We have the census. I'm sure Blair must have told him, we have the census. If there is any problem, we'll say that those in the north outnumber those in the south, and everybody in the north voted for you, so you won. After all, the Northern People's Congress, NPC, never won one single vote outside the north, yet they formed the government that Tafawa Balewa headed. Most of you don't know this, do you? They claim they were Nigerians. That is the hypocrisy that drives me mad. That people don't quite grasp. Mohammedan Emirates of the North. They claim they are. In fact, do you know the name of their party? Northern People's Congress. Do you know the one that Azikiwe had? NCNC. Nigerian Council for National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons. For every, he even went into Cameroon to look for people to join him. Nnamdi Azikiwe, lunatic. And Awolowo had his own little Aburo club called Action Group. That's all they can do in Lagos. Aburo, local area boys. They can't do anything. Local champions. Nnamdi Azikiwe went about preaching for unity. Let's get together. Ahmadu Bello said, no, I want northern people only. My concern is Awasa Fulani, the north. I don't care about anybody else. And surprise, surprise, the north won. That person asking for unity, for love, for oneness, he lost. That is why when I see an Awasa man telling me about the unity, to protect, I look at them and I laugh at them. These are hypocrites because of oil. In my, you say you love me. You don't. The love is conditional. On oil flowing. In fact, any day you don't even feel like it can just slaughter me. People don't understand. But we are here to teach them. We are here to teach them. This is Radio Biafra. We must proceed. We need to proceed. Boko Haram, they said that defeating Boko Haram will capture Shekau. But Boko Haram have now burnt down a military camp in Yobe town. And I want to also advise Jonathan, because you know him and in this UG, a black person in power. Obama killed Osama bin Laden. Obama killed Osama. Do you remember that? Now, Al-Qaeda metamorphosed into a type of monstrosity never witnessed by mankind before in ISIS. There was a time they killed, what's his name again? Is it Mohammed Yusuf of Boko Haram? They thought, oh, if we kill the leader, we have won. Why people don't follow history? Boko Haram became deadly even without Mohammed Yusuf than when Yusuf was alive. If you kill Shekau, you think ISIS is bad? You know, there are various degrees of wickedness in the world. When wickedness comes, you'll understand that mankind is indeed evil. You think that burning people in the cages, bathing them in acid is bad. When a black monkey from Africa gets hold of you and wants to be wicked, it is indeed very, very wicked. They shouldn't push Boko Haram that far. If they do, okay. Look at ISIS. Can they stop them? Oh, we are bombing them from the air. We are firing cruise. You will see the ways they'll be killing people. That will be very, very novel. I'm telling you. So they should be very, very careful. That a military camp in Yobe town. As they're talking about this and that, they are conquering them and overrunning them every place there. Instead of all of you now, Canada, those in Mexico, all over the world, you are just there folding your hands and hoping that the Pope Canterbury will save you. Somebody will come to your rescue. Your own destiny, way to save yourselves is by not voting. I'm telling you, if you attempt to go out to vote, some of you will come back as corpses anyway, as dead alive. You would have, it is an avalanche, or a mudslide, or even a tsunami. You are the ones that is causing the tectonic shift that will kill people by accepting to vote. But if you just say, for this very period, I am not going to go anywhere to vote, it will force all these criminal, looting vagabonds, politicians to think and say, my goodness me, we must change our ways. If you go out to vote, you are the gunpowder, and this zoo will blow up. Watch and see now. Are we too far away? Is it not only next month? You watch and see what's going to happen. As people will be falling left, right, as people are dying, I'll be reminding you on Radio Biafra, did I not tell you so? Did I not tell you so? I will even read the news. Once they report that people are dying because of the election, I'll be telling you here, did I not tell you so? That's what I will say to you. And then after that, motorists only in Igbo land. You know, these people, British took away, the Europeans took away their identity by giving them a false gods to worship. Number one. And then what is left of their brain was vacuumed up by Awusa Fulani. So they don't go and cheat outsiders, they cheat themselves. That is why Igbo people can sit down and decide not to sell petrol to cause artificial scarcity, so they can sell it at a very high price. They will not. In Lagos is selling at 87 naira per liter, 10 naira per liter. Yet the oil came from nearby. Now you understand what we mean by what we are doing. People are calling us on Radio Biafra. You wait for our news analysis to finish, then you can call Radio Biafra, please. We start at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. in Biafra land, but round about 9:30 Biafra land time or 8:30 here, we open our lines after the barrister must have finished speaking, please. Now, reportedly in Nigerian government custody is the news for children. When you do that, you let us know. It doesn't really matter. As I said before, Obama and Al-Qaeda turned into ISIS and became a nightmare that the whole world with so much trepidation. A court, as typical in the zoo, have now discharged Baba Lakin over 4.7 billion fraud. Yoruba fraud. You know, when Yoruba, I love them at least. You know, when Yoruba want to do fraud, they do proper fraud, not all this nonsense of fraud of Ubulafo. He awarded the contract as PDP chairman of him to EFCC. Baba Lakin stole 4.7 billion. The court said you can go home. At least you have given us part of the money. This is the zoo. If you want to share, you share, and let's move on. Sharing blood and sharing money. In discharged, he asked him to go 4.7 billion. Earthquake. What can you do? You're talking about one Nigerian DC maybe. In fact, the only time I can allow or excuse what Boko Haram is doing is if you say you're a Nigerian, Boko Haram should go and bomb you. Everybody, if you say, because it shows how foolish you are as a human being. Saying you're a Nigerian means you are very, very foolish. You have no brain. And I have no regard for such people. Anyway, no, what are you, of course? Are you not black Africans? What do you know? Jonathan's land grab and abuse of office and corruption, according to APC, see if the land use decree is not. The land use decree is also the same thing. And nobody is complaining. Nobody is complaining. Thank you very much. Before we proceed to give you news in detail, I must make a mention of our sister who gave us some funds, about 30,000 naira to buy petrol. I presume it has been received. Thank you very, very much for that. And one or two of you as well. Thank you very much for that. And because of that, Radio Biafra is also 0.6 speaking in Enugu because we've been able to buy petrol. And it is now working. This is Radio Biafra. We must proceed. We need to proceed and we must proceed to bring you the news headlines, which we have just done now, and now to be accompanied by the news summary. President Jonathan assures that the monkeys and the baboons called Nigerians and the entire zoo itself that the British created will remain stable after the general elections. He insists that interim government is unconstitutional and treasonable because they are planning and looking to constitute an interim government. If it is treasonable, Jonathan, how come other countries of the world have been able to do so? When people are in crisis, they have a government of national unity everywhere. Everywhere you go to. Jonathan, I don't know, maybe the wife is either he's learning from the wife or something is wrong somewhere. Jonathan is saying that for you to stabilize your country by calling in all the different parties to come together to form a government is treasonable and unconstitutional. By constitution. The constitution of the zoo says that a policeman can arrest you, that you don't need money for bail. But right now, if the DPO wants to send pocket money to the child studying at a private Pentecostal university in Lagos, he will order roadblock. He will arrest people, put them in a van, drive them to police station, you go and bail yourself with money. Is that constitutional? Some of you don't know what is happening in the zoo. Some of you, I can't understand our people. They will arrest. Why is it that when somebody goes to a police station, you must pay money to bail yourself? Oh, go and look for bail money. Go and look for bail money. But it is unconstitutional. Jonathan, owning a bank account in Namibia is paying your friends and defrauding and looting the treasury is unconstitutional. But yet you're doing it. When it comes to saving lives, maybe they have given him money to try and kill as many people as possible. Jonathan, the way you manage this very zoo that monkeys inhabit from now till next month will determine how many people will die. And their blood will be on your head. They say it is on the head of Gowon for those he killed. Look at him these days. That tells you all you need to see. Therefore, Jonathan, make sure that the zoo comes to an end. It is your responsibility to dissolve the zoo amicably, or else you know what will follow anyway. You cannot take all your village and run away, isn't it? Victims of the 2014 ill-fated Immigration Service recruitment stampede from Edo State have threatened to drag the federal government of the zoo before the International Court of Justice in The Hague over what they described as social injustice and total neglect of applicants that died and those wounded in the exercise. People died because their country defrauded them. That is to tell you how evil, wicked, and callous the zoo is. A government of a country sat down and decided to defraud its citizens. They know there are no jobs for the graduates. They still called for an interview, sold forms, and the people came in a stadium and died. Because the government did not even return the money. These people are evil. The money, they pocket. I don't know if Obama is listening. Obama, you will not allow this type of nonsense, for Americans won't allow you to run your reckless and evil manner. We may be black Africans, but there are some of them. If what Jonathan with Immigration Service did to these kids is bad, or will be considered bad in America, we also consider it bad in the zoo. It's not, and I wish I can hear the case, but I don't know the merit. Who is more legal? The barrister can explain to us if it is possible or not to take the zoo government to The Hague. Boko Haram have now killed another 24 in Hong, according to the police over there. Boko Haram insurgents have killed 21 civilians in Gaya Ward in the Hong local government area of Adamawa State. Sources in the area confirmed the development to correspondence saying about 20 attacked Fa and Dang villages in the area, killing 25 villagers on Tuesday, which is today, killing 25 villagers and burning property before withdrawing to the bush. Do you understand what is happening? That people are dying. Tony Blair, I hope you're listening with your cohorts seeking to Buhari, the fake general with no. How do you think for somebody who is not qualified in American Constitution, you have to be born in America with American to be considered to run for the presidency of the USA? What I'm asking, that is your law. What I'm asking Obama and also asking Cameron is, do you think Americans will allow anybody born outside America to become their president without first altering their constitution? The answer is no. Therefore, why are you pushing somebody you know is not qualified to run? They have minimum requirement certificate. Buhari hasn't got it. So, oh my God. We are black people. What do we do? Suspected Boko Haram insurgents have killed 21 civilians. They are killing in the zoo called Nigeria.